On the afternoon of November 24th, 1971, a man using the name Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Airlines, Flight 305 at Portland International Airport. The flight was scheduled to travel a short distance north, from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington, and was expected to take less than an hour. The man was described as being in his mid-40s, wearing a dark suit, a white shirt, a black tie, and sunglasses. He carried a briefcase and appeared calm, unremarkable, and businesslike. Shortly after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant. At first, she assumed it was a phone number or a routine message and did not read it immediately. When the man quietly told her that she should look at the note because he had a bomb, she did. The note stated that there was an explosive device in his briefcase and that he would use it if his demands were not met. The man then calmly opened the briefcase just enough to show what appeared to be wires and cylindrical objects. He did not raise his voice, and witnesses later recalled that he remained polite throughout the encounter. His demands were specific. He asked for $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck to be waiting when the plane landed in Seattle. He instructed the flight attendant to relay this information to the cockpit. The pilots contacted air traffic control, and the situation was taken seriously. The plane was instructed to circle the Seattle area while authorities gathered the ransom and parachutes. During this time, the man ordered drinks, including bourbon and soda, and paid for them. He appeared relaxed, and at no point did he threaten anyone beyond the original warning contained in the note. After approximately 2 hours in the air, Flight 305 was cleared to land at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. By that time, the airline had complied with the demands. The ransom money consisted of $200,000 in $20 bills, with serial numbers recorded for tracking purposes. The parachutes included both functional and training models. Once the plane landed, Cooper instructed the crew to taxi to a remote area of the runway. The ransom money and parachutes were delivered to the aircraft. After receiving them, Cooper allowed all 36 passengers to leave the plane. Only a small crew remained on board: the pilot, co-pilot, flight engineer, and 1 flight attendant. Cooper then gave detailed instructions for the next phase of the flight. He directed the crew to fly toward Mexico City at a low altitude of approximately 10,000 feet, with the landing gear down and the cabin unpressurized. He also requested that the rear airstairs of the Boeing 727 remain operational during flight, a feature unique to that aircraft. As the plane took off again, weather conditions were poor. It was dark, raining, and windy. Sometime after the aircraft passed over southwestern Washington, the flight crew felt a noticeable change in pressure, consistent with the rear stairs being lowered. At approximately 8:13 p.m., the aircraft experienced a sudden upward movement. Investigators later concluded that this was likely the moment Cooper jumped from the plane. He exited the aircraft somewhere over a remote forested region near the Lewis River, though the exact location has never been determined. The plane continued on to Reno, Nevada, where it landed without further incident. Upon inspection, Cooper was gone. A massive search effort followed. The FBI launched one of the most extensive manhunts in its history, involving aircraft, helicopters, ground teams, and divers. Despite weeks of searching, no body, parachute, or equipment was found. In 1980, nearly 9 years after the hijacking, a young boy discovered $5,800 in deteriorated $20 bills along the banks of the Columbia River. The serial numbers matched those from the ransom money. This discovery confirmed that at least some of the cash had reached the ground. However, it did not conclusively answer whether Cooper survived the jump. Over the decades, the FBI investigated hundreds of suspects. Some were eliminated due to age, physical condition, or lack of evidence. Others remained inconclusive. No suspect was ever charged. In 2016, the FBI officially suspended active investigation into the case, citing the lack of new evidence and the need to allocate resources elsewhere. To this day, the true identity of D.B. Cooper remains unknown. Whether he survived the jump, died shortly after, or was never found for other reasons, has never been definitively established. The case remains the only unsolved aircraft hijacking in United States history.